We're focused on the resiliency of the Gulf of Mexico ecosystem and what role biological diversity played in determining how resilient the community was to the Deepwater Horizon accident. Biological diversity is what makes all of these studies relevant. It's about redfish, it's about speckled trout, it's about whales, birds, you name it. The things that basically drive the health of our ecosystem are characterized by biodiversity. And the notion is that the greater the biodiversity is, the more resilient the ecosystem is. And if the ecosystem's resilient, that means the local economies that rely on the things that live in the Gulf of Mexico also are resilient. Collectively, we're working on biological diversity from the level of genetics all the way up to whole organisms, big stuff like sharks and rays and things like that. And the notion is that the genetically diverse sorts of things are more able to respond to things like climate change, toxicity from oil. They're able to overcome physiologically. They have that special sort of chemistry in them that allows them to overcome. And then in the bigger levels, you have things that just move around a lot. They had ways of avoiding it like they did in the earliest days of the accident. First off, the value is going to be to the broader scientific community because there's a lot of interest in biological diversity and what it tells us about ecosystem health. And the Gulf of Mexico is historically extremely diverse, and it could be that it's able to recover from these sorts of perturbations relatively quickly because there's a lot of redundancy in terms of species function. We're going to be moving towards synthesis and modeling. That's where we're heading, where we're going to try to make more sense out of all the variability and the results we have so far. One point that comes out of the stories of biological diversity is that a good economy requires a good ecology, and biological diversity is a good indicator of ecosystem health and therefore a good predictor of economic health.